Good evening and thank you all for keeping it KTN News. Let's now take a look at business news. My name is Joy Doreen Bira. Kenya's inflation rate has fallen to the lowest level since February this year. According to data by the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, inflation rate for the month of August dropped to 5.84%, down from 6.62% in July, attributed to a drop in food prices. KTN's Charles Gitonga reports.
The cost of living has fallen below 6% for the first time in 5 months as favorable weather conditions pushed food prices down. The monthly inflation report by Kenya National Bureau of Statistics shows that between July and August 2015, the non-alcoholic drinks index decreased by 0.26%. However, other indices key to determining the rate of inflation went up. The housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuels index rose by 0.76%, attributable to net cost increases in cooking fuels and rising electricity prices as the fuel cost adjustment and foreign exchange charges went up. Surprisingly, despite a notable drop in the cost of diesel during the period, the transport index increased by 1.42%, owing to a rise in the cost of petrol, leading to higher fares and other transport costs. Year on year, inflation has dropped by 2.52% from a high of 8.36% in August 2014. The cost of living oscillated between 6.30 and 7.08% between March and July, before falling to 5.84% in August. In February, it was recorded at 5.61%, 6.31% in March, 7.08% in April, 6.87% in May, 7.03% in June, and 6.62% in July. The drop in the cost of living comes as good news to policymakers at the Central Bank of Kenya, who are working to contain volatility of the shilling against the US dollar. In just 3 months, the central bank raised the benchmark lending rate twice, from 8.5% to 11%, as it tried to reduce the pass-through effects of a weak currency. So far, the shilling is trading at 103 shillings and 86 cents to the US dollar, 14.5% weaker than the 90 shillings and 70 cents registered on the 2nd of January this year. Among the effects of these depreciations has been increased cost of imports such as fuel, therefore increasing the cost of living. The central bank has also intervened by tightening the monetary policy to reduce liquidity in the forex market, resulting into a hike in the rate at which commercial banks lent to each other from 8% in July to a high of 25% before cooling to 14%. CBK's inflation ceiling of 7.5% is yet to be breached this year, though there are fears that the continued depreciation of the shilling and looming El Nino rains might worsen the inflation rate towards the end of the year. Charles Gitonga, KTN News.